If your last post was months ago, you're not antisocial, you're psychologically evolved. While everyone else is performing for strangers, you've discovered something they're desperately searching for: peace. Let's talk about something nobody wants to admit. Social media has become a psychological prison, and most people don't even realize they're trapped. But you walked away, and that makes you dangerous to a system built on addiction. People who rarely post on social media aren't hiding from the world, they're protecting something far more valuable: their authentic sense of self. While everyone around you is fragmenting their identity into bite-sized performances, you've maintained something increasingly rare: psychological wholeness. Here's what the research actually shows. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Social Psychology found that chronic social media posters experience what psychologists call identity fragmentation. Every time you post, you're not sharing your life, you're editing it, curating it, performing it. And with each performance, you lose a piece of your authentic self. You become the character you're playing online. The mask becomes the face. But you've opted out of this cycle entirely. And that terrifies people. Because your silence is a mirror that reflects their addiction. When you don't post, you're not seeking external validation. And that makes others question why they need it so desperately. Let's go deeper. Neuroscience reveals that every like, every comment, every share triggers a dopamine release in the brain, the same chemical released by cocaine, gambling, and other addictive substances. Social media platforms are literally designed by teams of psychologists and engineers to create dependency. The infinite scroll, the pull to refresh, the notification badge, these aren't accidents. They're carefully crafted psychological triggers designed to hijack your brain's reward system. But here's where you're different. You've recognized the game and refused to play. Studies from Stanford's Persuasive Technology Lab show that people who abstain from regular posting demonstrate significantly higher levels of what psychologists call internal locus of control. This means your sense of self-worth comes from within, not from the fluctuating opinions of an algorithm-driven audience. Think about this for a moment. While others are checking their phones 150 times per day, yes, that's the average, you're actually living, you're present, you're experiencing moments without the compulsive need to document and broadcast them. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who reduced social media use to just 30 minutes per day showed significant decreases in loneliness, depression, anxiety, and fear of missing out. But you've gone even further. You've understood something profound. The most meaningful experiences in life actually lose their magic when you try to package them for public consumption. The sunset is more beautiful when you're not thinking about the caption. The conversation is more genuine when you're not planning how to post about it later. The achievement is more satisfying when you're not measuring it by how many people will double tap. Your silence on social media isn't absence, it's radical presence in your actual life. And this terrifies a culture built on performance and surveillance. You've become ungovernable because you don't need their approval. You've become unpredictable because you're not broadcasting your every move. You've become psychologically free in a world of digital prisoners. Here's what really separates you from the masses. Clinical psychologists have identified a phenomenon called comparison trap, where constant exposure to others' curated highlight reels creates chronic dissatisfaction with your own life. But when you're not scrolling through filtered perfection every day, something remarkable happens. You start appreciating your actual life, your real relationships, your genuine achievements, your authentic experiences. Studies show that people who post less actually have stronger real-world relationships. Why? Because they invest their emotional energy in actual interactions rather than performing relationships for an audience. They have private jokes, deep conversations, and meaningful connections that don't require witnesses or validation. Let me tell you what you've really figured out. You understand that identity is not a brand. Character is not content. Life is not a highlight reel. You've rejected the premise that your worth is measured by engagement metrics. You've refused to reduce your existence to something that can be liked, shared, or commented on. Neurological research from Harvard shows that our brains aren't designed for the constant social comparison that social media demands. We evolved in small tribes where we knew everyone personally. Now we're comparing ourselves to hundreds or thousands of people daily, and it's literally making us sick. Depression rates have skyrocketed in direct correlation with social media usage. Anxiety disorders are at all-time highs. Sleep disorders, attention problems, and identity crises, all linked to excessive social media consumption. But you saw through it. Maybe not consciously at first, but you felt something was wrong. You noticed how hollow it felt to get 100 likes but still feel empty inside. You recognized that the validation was temporary, shallow, and ultimately meaningless, so you stopped chasing it. And here's the beautiful irony. By not seeking attention, you've become more interesting. By not performing your life, you've started actually living it. By not broadcasting your thoughts, you've developed deeper ones. By not documenting every moment, you've made your moments matter more. This is what psychological maturity looks like in the digital age. Not disconnection, but intentional connection. Not isolation, but selective engagement. Not fear, but wisdom. You haven't rejected technology, you've rejected its control over you. You haven't abandoned social connection, you've chosen quality over quantity. The truth is, you're not antisocial, you're not a technophobe, you're not missing out. You're someone who values authenticity over approval, depth over display, and real life over digital performance. You're someone who understands that the most powerful position in any game is refusing to play it. So when people ask why you never post, when they call you a ghost, when they accuse you of being inactive, remember this: you're not inactive, you're active in your actual life. You're not invisible, you're visible to the people who actually matter. You're not antisocial, you're practicing the highest form of social intelligence, knowing that not every moment needs an audience, not every thought needs a platform, and not every experience needs to be performed. Your silence isn't weakness, it's the loudest statement you can make in a world that won't shut up. You've chosen presence over performance, authenticity over approval, real life over digital theater, and that makes you not invisible, it makes you unforgettable to the people who actually know you. Comment real life if you haven't posted in over a month and you're perfectly fine with it. Let's see how many of us have escaped the matrix.